Can you believe that with an adorable face like this, some dogs go unwanted? You know, in some towns, unwanted dogs are put to sleep. But here in Barre, Massachusetts, dogs find refuge with Elaine Bosler. Elaine is the Humane Society for Barre, Massachusetts and the surrounding towns. So we've come to take a visit with her. Elaine?
Hi.
Oh, we have a few house guests that want to join us.
Oh, a few here. Let me take Molly.
All righty. Oh, hi, guys. Hi, guys. No, Elaine.
I don't know if you can hear me.
I know, Elaine. Now, how do we quiet these guys down? Dogs, even you have more dogs, don't you?
There's a few out there.
And where do all these dogs, how they come to you? Where do they all come from?
80% are all strays.
They're all
dumped
strays?
off, abandoned,
Now,
abused.
I see. Are you also the dog officer in town? Is that how you come by?
Yes.
A lot of them?
Yes.
Yes. I see. Now, you also have more kennels out and back?
Yes. Oh,
What?
Princess snuck out.
We have more kennels out and back, and I see they can all just run here?
Yeah, wait a minute. I've got one loose.
What?
Well, I can hold it.
Hello. Hi, Princess. Now, how do you care for all of these dogs?
Very difficult.
What does it involve? You,
Cleaning,
medical care?
having them spayed, having them neutered.
Yes. Grooming?
Grooming, finding them homes. They have to have vaccinations. The most important thing is having them all altered so they don't reproduce.
I see. I see. How did you get started doing work like this?
The cruelty to animals. I just saw so much abuse that I got involved in it.
Yeah.
The more that I got involved, it just mushroomed. You'd be surprised that
I don't know where I am.
the cruelty to animals is just unbelievable. If they're destroying 30 million dogs a year, that tells me that everyone doesn't take care of their animals.
Right, right. And so how long have you been doing this in Barre, Massachusetts?
In Barre, I've been here 9 years, but I've been doing it for about 13 years.
You told me an interesting story about how you ended up in Barre, Massachusetts. I think somebody was instrumental in sending you here?
Well, when I was in Princeton, I was there for 6 years. I was the dog officer, would not destroy the dogs. And after 6 years not having one complaint, a neighbor moved next door and said he was putting up a $100,000 chalet, and he didn't want the dogs next to him. So the town fired me as dog officer, which was a $200 a year job. And they took me to court, and they wanted to destroy my 37 dogs at the time. And I wouldn't let them destroy the dogs, so they said I could stay in Princeton and keep 10 dogs. And I said, who would I destroy? And I asked for 2 months. I said, give me 2 months and I'll sell my house and move out of town. So I moved out of town.
You ended up here in Barre.
And now I have the largest humane society in New England.
You also have cats here, don't you?
Yes, we have equally as many cats. There's more cats abandoned than dogs, I think.
Do you have a special shelter for cats?
Yeah, we have several cat houses.
Is there more involved in taking care of a cat than there is a dog?
I think so. You have more respiratory. 1 out of 3 cats have leukemia today. There's a lot of problems with cats.
You do a lot of the medical care for these cats yourself, don't you?
Well, I worked for a veterinarian for 4 years, so I've learned quite a bit.
Some travel in packs and terrorize neighborhoods. Others are just the sad cast-off of owners who abandon them. The problem of strays inspired one Massachusetts woman to do something about it. Jean?
The Bosler Humane Society is the brainchild of Elaine Bosler, a one-time animal officer who became so attached to her work she took it home with her, literally. Now she has a license to house 65 dogs and 85 cats. Her food bill runs about $750 a week, and she spends another $1,200 on the shelter itself. It's all part of her crusade against the abuse and neglect of animals.
I lived in Princeton, Mass, and I was a dog officer. And, of course, I started picking up all the strays, and I wouldn't destroy them. I was working for a veterinarian at the time, and I'd have them all spayed and find them homes.
Elaine Bosler took in so many strays that she lost her job and finally her own home when a neighbor took her to court for keeping too many animals.
So then after 1 year of going to court, the judge said, okay, Elaine, you can stay in Princeton and keep 10 personal dogs. And I said, who would I destroy? And I said, give me 2 months and I'll sell my house and move out of town. And he said, where are you going with 37 dogs and 24 cats? And I said, I don't know. I said, but I'm not going to destroy my animals for anybody. So in 2 months, I sold my house and moved out of town. And that's how I landed in Barrie. Actually, I started off with a chicken coop in Princeton, but here I have 3 1/3 acres. So I went from a $2,000 mortgage to a $40,000 mortgage. I went from a chicken coop to what I have here. This is Gordon. Most of all these dogs here were strays. They've been abandoned, tied to trees in the woods. One afternoon, every time I hung the phone up, it rang again for me to take animals, and you can just take so many.
Over the years, Elaine has placed 3,000 animals in adoptive homes.
Okay, come on, we'll go for a walk. Come on. I decided I had to find a way of making a living to support the animals, so I became incorporated, and it's now a nonprofit tax deductible organization. I live strictly by donation. I have 3,600 members right now, and without them, there would be no Bosler Humane Society.
Elaine says that 40 million stray dogs are destroyed every year in the United States at a cost of $5 million to the taxpayer.
People, the first thing they should do when they get a pet, they should have it altered. Buddy! No, buddy! Buddy, catch! People just will not alter their pets, and if you take 2 female dogs on an average, and you don't have them altered, in 7 years you have 4,300 dogs. So I have everything altered, and then I find them a home.
But finding good homes is not easy.
For instance, a woman came up one day and told me, oh, I've had 3 dogs in the past year. I just love dogs. And I said, well, gee, what happened to them? She said, well, they're dumb. They go on the road and they all get hit by cars. And I said, well, I'm not giving you number 4 to get hit by a car. And I really feel unleashed, unloved. I've placed over 5,000.
Over 5,000.
And that's being very selective where you place them.
Yeah, you really check them out like an adoptive parent, right?
Well, you have to realize if 28 million dogs are abandoned or unwanted every year.
28 million are
28 million,
abandoned
yeah.
and unwanted.
So they came from somewhere, so you really have to be careful. And I have them all spayed and neutered, and we take in handicapped dogs too.
So you've dedicated your whole life to this.
And the rest, yeah, everything.
Yeah, that's something. What about these guys? Are they looking for a home now? They look pretty comfortable with
They
you,
look
Elaine.
awfully happy.
Pumpkin was Pumpkin was abandoned. I was going over to Dr. Stoyak's in Springfield, Mass, and she was running up and down Main Street. And I followed her home, and the people said, take her. We don't want her, take her.
No.
So I took her home, and she had 7 puppies 2 weeks later.
Oh,
Why
boy.
didn't they want her? Why do people bring a dog into their home and then abandon them?
I don't know. I just, you know, I think all forms of life deserve respect, and if they're not going to take care of them, they really shouldn't have them.
No.
Now,
It's a commitment when you take an animal.
Yeah.
I mean, just the veterinary bills, when you go on vacation, you have to board them out. And
Yeah, it's a big responsibility.
It really is.
And
it's like having another child, really.
and a tremendous expense for you. Now, you're doing this all on your own.
Yeah.
That's really something.
You survive on donations?
Strictly public donation. What we're hoping for, I only have 3 acres in Barrie, and what we're hoping for, we put a down payment on 200 acres. I have the largest no-kill shelter in New England, and what we're hoping for is to finish paying for the 200 acres. What do you want?
Barrie is in Massachusetts?
Yeah. It's on the west side of
All
Springfield.
right, well, we have some more of your friends with us.
Oh, boy.
A couple more, don't
Yeah,
we?
Pumpkin,
absolutely. No.
This is Patrick. Patrick was picked up by the police for breaking and entering.
Yeah, well, he's...
Who's going to stop them?
Hello.
George.
Well, these are very, very handsome
guys.
dogs.
Oh, they're beautiful.
They're for
Look at the
placement.
set.
Absolutely. And here comes
Oh,
another little
retriever.
guy.
George.
And here comes another one over here.
He has a problem.
They keep coming out here.
Yeah, Captain.
All right,
little
okay.
one. Hello.
They are friendly dogs.
Oh.
Very
Yeah,
friendly.
Taffy, Patrick.
Yeah.
Schnapps, come here,
Yeah.
Schnapps.
Schnapps, okay.
So are all of these pets available if somebody wanted to get in touch with
Most
you?
of these, yeah, Georges and Patrick and Taffy.
Well, good. It's a wonderful thing you're doing, Elaine.
Yeah, you've
Thank
got
you.
every kind, every breed, I guess.
Yeah, we've got a Captain, come here.
Yeah.
Now, all of these have been abandoned?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And a story behind every
Well,
dog as well, huh?
Yeah.
What's the story
Well,
behind this one?
I need help, Joyce.
Yeah.
What's the story
Well,
behind this?
Patrick was out in the, you know, we had some bitter cold nights last year.
Sure.
And he was out in the cold, and he took a lady's doorknob off trying to get into her house because he was so cold.
And he can do it, too.
So he was picked up by the police for breaking and entering.
That's funny. Well, we think you're doing a terrific job, and
Well,
we just
thank
wanted
you.
to honor you
Congratulations
as
to you.
one of our angels this time of year. And thank you very much,
Thank
Elaine,
you.
for coming by and bringing all your friends with you.
Can I take them all?
Elaine Bosler from Barrie, Massachusetts. We'll be back in a moment doing a Christmas caroling for you.
Elaine Bosler's Humane Society has created this village for stray and abandoned cats in the Worcester County town of Templeton. It's a no-kill shelter.
I have a 20-year-old cat, a 17-year-old dog. They can live their life out with us. That's Benny. That's Benny.
Do you have names for all of them?
Yep.
These heated children's playhouses are home to hundreds of her feline friends, just down the block from her shelter for dogs.
And then I did only put 15 or 20 cats in a building. It was the only way I could keep them healthy. Because if you put too many in one building, you've got a problem. We make big play yards so they can all run and play. They really look stressed out, don't they?
Yes, it's a tough life.
Whoops. There's Mickey. Mickey weighs about 25 pounds.
Donations from thousands of animal lovers the world over defray the weekly $6,000 cost of operating her labor of love.
My members, would you believe I have one in Hong Kong, I have one in Alaska?
Elaine's kindred spirits have helped her continually expand her animal shelters during the past 18 years.
There's so many abused animals, and there wasn't enough places where they could go. Benny! Hey, Benny, hey!
And if for some reason they're not adopted, Elaine will continue to provide her friends with a place they can call their own for the rest of their lives.
It's real friendly, this one. Double plus.
For 22 News, I'm Cy Becker.
Elaine Bosler has dedicated her life to saving animals nobody else wants. And that's why she's this week's hometown hero.
Baby, I drove all the way to Pennsylvania to pick her up, and she ended up with glaucoma and had to have her eyes removed.
A blind dog named Chow Baby, or Rex, who only has 3 legs. There isn't an animal Elaine Bosler won't help.
We have geese, and we have 4 mini horses.
Elaine has created a 200-acre sanctuary for unwanted and discarded animals. The Bosler Humane Society has grown from a single chicken coop to a sprawling farm over the past 30 years. Her knees may be slowing her down, but Elaine's mission remains on target.
Where does this sensitivity for animals come from?
I don't know. Just look in their eyes. Somebody's got to speak for them.
It's a sad fact that most animal shelters are forced at some point to euthanize some of their animals. But Elaine never allows that to happen here. In fact, this is the largest no-kill animal shelter in all of New England.
Oh, we have a few birds.
Over the years, the animals have become more exotic as Elaine's reputation as a shelter of last resort has spread. She just doesn't know how to say no.
What is it about her personality?
She is the Mother Teresa of the animal world. That's basically what she is. Abused, neglected, unwanted animals find their way here.
And no expense is spared.
They're all heated.
Take a look at these mini Victorian mansions for stray cats. They actually have beds and hardwood floors. It isn't easy to keep the place going. Elaine relies solely on private donations.
You know, why do you do this?
Respect for life. If there wasn't any cruelty, I wouldn't be doing this.
But many animals are lucky she is. That's why Elaine Bosler of Baldwinville is this week's hometown hero.
Just to give you a sense of the size of the shelter, Elaine now has 10 paid employees and an annual budget $500,000.
Okay, I would have been in trouble in there because I would have come home with 2 cats and the fuzzy puppy that was outside. Can anybody adopt a pet?
No. Actually, no. Elaine is very particular. You have to fill out an application. You have to be screened. She wants to make sure it's a perfect match for not only the pet, but for the future owner.